Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the only show that slaughters melons in the middle of the desert so that you can survive a zombie apocalypse. But before I get all O.J. Simpson up in here, let's take a minute to consider just how real the threat of an undead uprising actually is. Meet Toxoplasmosa gondii. This little guy can only breed in the intestines of cats, so it infects the brains of rats and then shuts down the rat's fear response, making them approach a cat instead of running away. The rat gets eaten, Toxoplasmosa reproduces, and proceeds to infect more rats. But MatPat, I'm not a rat, you say. Well spotted, loyal theorist, but you're not safe yet. Early studies have shown that those humans infected with Toxoplasmosa tend to be more insecure and have minor brain damage resembling the effects of schizophrenia. And you know how in the Walking Dead series everyone is already infected? Well, hate to break it to you, but half of you watching have Toxoplasmosa swimming around inside you as we speak. So the hard truth is this: if you're looking for a zombie apocalypse, Toxoplasmosa gondii may be your culprit. In other words, the zombie threat is closer and more real than you or I can imagine, and I don't know about you, but I want to be prepared. And that means figuring out what weapon is going to protect me the best. Thing is, I don't own a gun. Only 47% of Americans do, and even if I did find one lying around on the street, I wouldn't be able to pick one up and suddenly become Andy Oakley. So the question is, what do I use? I'm left with what I got. Tools, cutlery, maybe a little oil and gasoline. So which of these things is gonna protect me the best from a toxoplasmosis outbreak? Let's find out. First, let's get two things straight. There's a lot of zombie lore out there, but to me, The Walking Dead's makes the most sense. Kill the brain, kill the zombie. So we're looking for a weapon that'll be able to penetrate the head from a safe distance. Second, we're using watermelons because they're a decent approximation of the human head. Hard exterior with a soft and squishy interior. Plus, there's anecdotal evidence to support this. An officer who was near President Kennedy when he was shot said that it sounded like a watermelon being split open. Gross, but true. Also, a recent episode of Fox's hit drama Bones said that the human head has the same density as a watermelon, so there's that. Would a pig's skull have been a more accurate representation? Sure, but I don't have the budget or the stomach for that sort of thing. Plus, watching a watermelon explode is so much cooler. First, let's start with a classic, the kitchen knife. The trouble is, we're not getting deep penetration. Huh, that's what she said. As loyal theorists may remember from the Fallout Headshot episode, the base of the brain is where the motor function is housed, the cerebellum and the brainstem. For mindless shambling zombies with no high-level cognitive processes, that's the region we have to take out in order to stop them coming for us. So if we're using a knife, even a large one like this, we would have to aim our blow to either the side or the back of the zombie's head. Something that, in the heat of the moment, you don't want to be thinking about. Also, the short range of the knife leaves us open for a bite. In short, the knife isn't bad, but we could do a lot better. So if we're gonna kill the zombie, we have to get through the head. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of deep penetration, I think of drills with comically large bits. Whoa there! But let's face it, a drill bit this comically large isn't going to be in your garage. Probably something more along the lines of this size. And if we're using it to penetrate a zombie skull, sure, it's a nice puncture wound, but it's not giving us the deep penetration that we need to hit those core parts of motion, the cerebellum and the brainstem. In other words, drill bit ain't gonna cut it. Speaking of cutting it, you know your axe is serious when it comes with its own sheath. That worked. Look, it even looks like it has a little unhappy face right here. Little eye and a little mouth. Oh, he's so sad that he got an axe to his back. Dead zombie, dead! The extremely sharp blade of the axe, coupled with its weight and the leverage of the axe handle, allows for some tremendous cutting power, hacking through the melon like a hot knife through butter. And if you didn't want to aim for the skull, the long handle allows for a safe reaching distance, making the neck an easy target for dismemberment. Overall, the axe gets a seal of approval. Oh ha! I'm Zombie Melon! Don't kill me! How about some bludgeoning items? I got an oversized wrench, a hammer, and the good old-fashioned 2x4. Let's melee some melon. Hear ye, Judge Matthew presiding. Verdict on all three, not ideal. The wood had too much surface area striking the watermelon, meaning the force it was delivering was distributed out instead of focused into one precise point. All that science talk basically means this, not the most effective club. Meanwhile, the wrench and the hammer, well, they did all right. I wasn't guaranteed a one-hit kill. Plus, because they're so short, I have to get in close to the zombie, meaning I'm running the risk of getting bitten. Hammer tended to get caught. The wrench especially needed multiple hits to get through the skull. Overall, they're okay if you have them, but look for something better. But wait, in honor of Dead Rising, let's get creative up in here. Apart, all three of them are meh weapons, but when combined, they become this. The homemade version of a spiked bat. Probably should have pre-drilled my holes, huh? Oh well, let's see if it works. Oh yeah, baby, there you go. What was 3 mediocre weapons became 1 awesome weapon just with a little creativity, giving me a good penetrating power with a safe distance. Awesome, awesome weapon. The power of ingenuity, the human mind. But when it comes down to it, nothing is gonna beat the granddaddy of bludgeoning weapons, the sledgehammer. I'm hoping to feel like Gallagher here, so I've kept the camera really far back so that none of these watermelon guts gets on it. But hopefully that doesn't prevent you from seeing the fireworks. At least what I hope's gonna happen. Did you see that? That was awesome and effective. Even like broke the table. Okay, so that was super effective, but let's think about this rationally. First, a sledgehammer is heavy. It's going to slow you down a lot. And against shambling hordes, speed is going to be your best ally, so that's a negative. It's also going to tire you out. Sure, the first 1 or 2 swings are going to be fine, but if a brain-dead town is chasing after you, you're going to need stamina, and this weapon won't let that happen. But worst of all, look at that splatter. For as awesome as it is as a watermelon, if the zombie infection is transmitted through bodily fluids, you've just sealed your own fate. So the sledgehammer verdict? It's impressive as a weapon, but not necessarily your best choice. Finally, we come to the Molotov cocktail. But before we test this big guy out, let's think for a minute. If I throw this, what am I actually going to do? We're trying to kill the zombie's brain, but by throwing this, I'm just setting the zombie on fire. Seemingly a more problematic situation than when I first started. Also, if you think about it, they're not easy to use, you can't reuse them, and they're difficult to make. Molotov cocktail? More like Molotov cock fail. In the end, the moral of the story is this. While the end of the world might seem like your opportunity to go all badass and start shooting off guns and smashing things with sledgehammers and setting other things on fire, it's the people who stay practical and creative that are going to survive the longest. Remember, when fighting the brain dead, this is your best weapon. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Take it away, Zombie Melon. Don't kill me, 'cause I'm already dead. Zombie Melon, Zombie Melon. Ah, back of my head is ripped open. Ah, ah. Yeah, okay, shut up.